How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffled Relics, and welcome back to a brand new video. Now, today, guys, I want to talk about something right here that PokeExperto posted. Now, I saw this actually last night, or yesterday, rather, but I didn't actually have the time, rather, at that time, to actually record it, nor the energy, because I had some personal stuff to deal with, but I decided to take a look at it today, guys, and talk about it with all of you, and see your opinions on it, guys, because new patent application by Nintendo and Gamefreak published today in the US. This is pretty spicy, if I may say so myself. This is very interesting, and I'm very excited to share this with you guys and talk about this, because there's a lot of theories I have about what this could be. And also, I'm going to go through some articles that also mention it, as well as looking back at a previous thing similar to this that they also patented, and also some things I was sent by a viewer, essentially, asking me a few things and telling me a few things. So, let's get started with the actual post here from PokeExperto, which I actually saw on a Nintendo website yesterday, which didn't actually mention Pokemon. I mean, it mentioned Pokemon in it, but never mentioned that Game Freak was actually part of this patent. So let's take a look, guys. So, new patent application by Nintendo and Game Freak published today in the US. This was published, or this was rather patented in the Americas, right? It appears to be a new system of cards with changes in color, pattern, and background. More information in the images. So this could be literally anything, but if you look at the actual image here, you'll see that what we have in front of us is this lion, I guess. This is literally just a lion, and then you have like a card, you know, little like aesthetic stuff around it and stuff like that, and then you have a little information here. You got like card display screen, which is like 100, I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like 100 millimeters or what that's supposed to be, but like I'm not sure which, like, you know, units they're using specifically, but I suppose that's the height, like, you know, the height and the length of the actual cards, and then also roll angle, jaw angle, pitch angle, and three-dimensional coordination system set in the game apparatus. So this is supposed to be something related to the actual console of being the Switch, right? This should be related to that, because I assume these cards are going to be used some way in that. And it also has to relate with Pokemon. Specifically, Game Freak is involved here, and there's an individual from Game Freak that's involved, which I'm going to mention in a moment. But if we continue here, we'll actually see, here's the proof of this being patented, you know, by Nintendo and Game Freak together. And there you see right here, the United States Patent Application Publication. So, this was done on, I'm not sure which date this was, April 26th, so yesterday this was patented. So it says, storage medium information, processing apparatus information, processing system and information, processing method. Applicants, Nintendo Co. Ltd. Kyoto, Japan, and Game Freak Inc. Tokyo, Japan. So, you got that there, and then you got inventor Koji Kawada. Now, Koji Kawada is the individual we got to talk about, which is going to be listed down below in this little post here. Also, I'm going to link everything in the description, guys, if you want to check it out on your own. But either way, so, I don't know what this is exactly about, but it's a foreign application priority data. Publication classification is down there if you want to look into that, if you're somebody who knows these things, you know, in terms of legality and that sort of stuff. If you want to look into it, if it's actually legit. It's definitely legit here, though. By the way, this is very interesting, because then if you go down here and you read this post, it says that the inventor is Koji Kawada, a member of Game Freak in charge of the user interface UI. The patent could be related to a new Pokédex or view of the Pokemon slides in the new game of Pokemon for Switch. Yes, it does. Exactly. That is very true. So if you look at Koji Kawada here, his game credits are Program Engineering, the UI System Programming for Pokemon Moon, Sun, Alpha Sapphire, Omega Ruby, XY, and Black version 2. I'm not sure if there's any more down there, but Black and White version 2. Right, so here's the thing. What's important about this? Why do I want to mention this? Because this, like, the things that he does, the UI, for those who do not know what the UI is, that's the user interface that you see. That's to do everything with, like, the Pokédex. When you're in battles, right, that's more like the HUD or whatever, but like, when you're in battles, for example, in Pokemon, you know where you have the buttons, like fight, bag, Pokemon, run, those buttons, right, those are the buttons that, like, you know, count as the user interface. That's what you as the user see as the interface on your screen, which you can press things on and actually get, you know, get some actions out of it, right? That's the user interface usually. And also, if you go into your bag, your Pokédex, for example, you know, the Rotom Dex, that's the user interface within Pokemon Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, right? That's the user interface. You have everything down there. You press the little thing and it does weird movements and stuff. In Alpha Sapphire Omega Ruby, you have the Dex Nav, right? The Dex Nav is used there, and that thing was awesome, and this gets one of the people who actually invented that as well, which is, you know, it makes me excited, because, I mean, this guy seems to be very creative with the things he does, and now we have something to do with these cards. Now, I have some little theories right here, guys, but before I get into those theories, I'm going to do that at the end of the video, so I don't take up your time. I'm going to give you the actual information before I get into my own little, you know, speculative mind, but this is actual proper information. If you guys want to look more into it, there are articles I'm going to link down below. This one specifically you can look into. I'm going to link it down below from nintendolife.com, but there is another thing that I want to mention, is that Nintendo actually filed a patent involving trade cards with NFC technology a while back as well. Like, actually, this was in March, last month. They actually patented these, and you can see they're similar to these cards, but they're slightly different, right? These ones are more clean now. They have an actual design on them, more of a design. These ones were kind of just, like, all over the place. You had, like, John, Beth, Mike, I don't know what the names were supposed to be, and then you had, like, little point things, and then you had, like, I guess, like, a hand, fist, and, like, you know, I guess it was like a rock, paper, scissor, actually, on these cards, which was really weird. I'm not sure what they would have meant by that, but then you also have at the bottom, you have, for example, defense, or 222 def, and then 111 ABC, and then 333 GHY, which I assume is just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, HY. You're right, it's just like their listings or whatever. But you had these cards, and if you read the actual article here, if we go back, we can actually read the article. It says, a few months ago, Nintendo filed a patent for trading card sets that use NFC technology similar to Amiibo. It was published online for all to see yesterday. Here's one excerpt from the actual filing. The trading cards refer to cards on which variously different pictures are depicted, and a purpose, therefore, is collecting and exchanged. Namely, the trading cards are cards manufactured and sold aiming at exchange or collection of pictures on each surface, therefore. In one of the figures, picture below, we see a 3DS being used to demonstrate contactless technology. Data is collected from the cards and stored in the system. So that's very interesting. Then you have figures in the filing also show rock, paper, and scissors symbols on the cards in the upper left corner. That's along with the numbers 1 to 6 on a die that's right beside. Based on the diagrams, Digital Trends speculates that you would be able to upload data and play against others in games of chance. You can also see the full thing here. So you can actually go here, and I'll link this as well. All these things will be listed. You can actually go to the patent website and look into the actual full post here, as you guys can see. Here it is. The whole page, right? Everything is included. You also have something here which shows like a little heart and stuff. I guess it's the back side of it. And then the actual inside of the card, I assume, as well. And then, you know, just where I guess the chips would be and that sort of stuff. And then transmission, reception circuit. Right, this is all just like the information about how they would work. And then you have like how you collect them in a little bag. I don't know. There's a lot of things right here, guys. There's a lot of things to look through. But the thing is, it's changed now. Now Gamefreak is involved directly. When this image was like, you know, being thrown around, this one, where this was like being thrown around the patent, this one didn't have Gamefreak attached to it. We didn't see any Gamefreak connection. People were saying this could probably be Pokemon related, and I thought so myself, but I never actually did the video on it. I was planning on doing it, but again, I have a catalog of things I want to work on, and sometimes I just forget about things. But like the thing though is, a lot of people were assuming it was Pokemon related, and it turns out it actually is, because Gamefreak is involved. Why would Gamefreak be patented something like this if they weren't involved in it, right? It just wouldn't make any sense, but it is clearly something to do with them. They are somewhat, you know, related to this, and they have something to, you know, in this that they want to, you know, get out there. Like, there's something to do with Gamefreak here, something with Pokemon on the Switch, clearly. I'll go more into this and my theories on what this could be in a moment, but I want to mention a poster I got from an individual called Team Sun and Moon on Twitter, who says, I'm now 90% sure the Pokemon Switch is coming out in 2018. Nintendo plans to sell 37.79 million Switch units by March 31st, 2019. So that's the next fiscal year for them. They aren't going to reach such numbers with only Smash and Fire Emblem. I agree, right? Smash is going to sell a hella ton of, like, you know, actual consoles. Like, people will buy units because of Smash, but not enough to reach 37.79 million. I don't know what their actual sales are at the moment. So he tells me here, the Switch has sold 17.79 million units until March 31st, 2018, the end of this fiscal year, right? They plan to sell 20 million more units this fiscal year, April 1st, 2018 till March 31st, 2019, which means means they want to sell 20 plus 17.79 equals 37,000 units in total before March 31st. Correction, the amount of units is not sold, it is shipped to stores, so the actual amount of sales is a bit less, but that doesn't matter for Nintendo because they get their money once they sell them to the retailers, which I agree, that is very true, and you can actually see the resource here, he does link to it, which is very great, I appreciate it, thank you so much, man. You can actually look into it here, and I assume if they want to sell another 20 million Switch consoles this fiscal year, that's an insane, along with 100 million units for software. I actually read about this yesterday as well, but like, that's an insane goal. 20 more million, literally a year from now. That's a big goal, right? That's an extreme goal. And how would you do that? Well, I mean, you're gonna release Smash, which is gonna sell a lot of units, a lot of consoles, obviously. But what else could sell consoles which sold previous consoles? Well, that's Pokemon. Pokemon has always sold consoles. Pokemon sold the Nintendo 3DS. So many people bought several, not one, but several Nintendo 3DSs just so they could, like, trade, you know, for themselves, like, from one console to another. They bought several consoles because they wanted the newest ones, because they made, like, you know, these extra versions, or these you know, slim versions, or whatever you want to call them, which I think is going to happen with the Nintendo Switch as well. They're probably going to make a slim Nintendo Switch Slim or whatever, which wouldn't really make much sense, but they're probably going to do something like that in the future, most likely. But this is very interesting. I'm going to link all these articles down below. You guys can actually look into them. And the fact that they want to sell nearly 38, I mean, this is bloody insane, brother. This is insane. Like 37 million copies, or 38 million, something like that, you know what I mean, of the Switch is kind of an insane goal. But, you know, hey, if they want to do it, they want to do it, and they're going to keep going for it. But either way, so now I want to go into the theory I had about this, which I wanted to keep at the end of the video. So if you just were here for the news and the actual information, then, you know, you can just might as well leave now, because now comes the theory time. Now, I think this relates to Ultra Shinies. Why do I think so? Well, but first things first, right? The Ultra Shiny trademark, and this is the very important thing, right? This is a theory of mine, and if I'm correct, then praise me, Lord. Oh, yes, let's go. So, the reason why I'm actually really thinking this could have something to do with the Ultra Shiny thing is because if you look at these cards, and this is just a speculation. Now, again, this is simply just a test drawing, but one thing I noticed is, behind that freaking tiger, you see those little stars, right? Those little stars look like the stars that come out when you catch shiny Pokemon. So if you just search up Pokemon shiny stars, you will actually see that they have those little shiny stars that come out whenever you catch a Pokemon. So that's what I'm thinking. This has got to, I mean, this could be something very different from what we assume it was going to be, right? See those stars right there? Don't they just could look kind of reminiscent to the stars right here? Like, it's just maybe me, but I think they look very reminiscent to each other, right? Look at that. Just me? I don't know. But also, another thing that I want to mention is, on the actual card, if you look at it, it looks like it's going to be like, the background's going to be moving, right? It looks like the background's going to be moving, and the card itself is just going to have the static image of the, you know, the creature or whatever on it, and that creature is definitely going to, you know, representing a Pokemon. Now, again, doesn't mean it's going to be an actual Pokemon, it's just a, you know, it's just a sketch, right? It's just a temporary thing. Again, keep in mind, guys, with patents, they could be removed at any times. But here's the thing about Ultra Shiny, why I think this could be, if you disregard the background thing, right? That's just a theory of mine. There's one thing that you guys may know about if you watch my previous Ultra Shiny videos, and that is that the Ultra Shiny trademark is a trademark that doesn't cover specifically video games. It covers everything from video games to TCG to merchandise. Now, if they were to do that, this just makes so much sense, right? If you want to have something like Ultra Shinies, this new thing, right? If you're going to have something like that, doesn't it make sense then that you wouldn't, you know, trademark it just for, you know, video games? You would trademark it for all things, because it's going to be a physical thing that you use. Probably something physical we're going to have to buy and freaking use on our, you know, Switches, so we can use them in the game or whatever. You know what I mean? Something like that, where we can scan it into our games. Or maybe there's going to be some sort of, and again, this is just a theory, maybe some sort of mini games in the games where you use the cards or whatever. I don't know, but what I want to say is that the trademark for the word Ultra Shiny fits with this 100%. It does, because think about it. This is a physical object that's also going to be used, you know, that's some sort of merchandise, right? It's a TCG. Okay, this is literally, it fits all the points, right? It's a TCG related thing. It's a trading card, because it says so in the patent. It's a trading card. Number two, it is literally like a piece of merchandise, something you would buy separately, I assume. And also maybe comes along with the games if you buy, you know, a copy or whatever. And also on top of that, you know, it's somewhat related to a video game, because you're going to have to use it. It's got, like, the whole, I'm not sure if they call it TFC technology or whatever, the same technology they use on the Amiibos. It's got that same technology in it, right? So that means it's going to be used in video games. So it fills in literally all the spots for the trademark, which means, I mean, there's probably more spots for the trademark, like plushies and all that stuff, but right? But this one fits in a lot of the marks there, which means that it, you know, it makes sense that the Ultra Shiny word was specifically, you know, copyrighted, you know, specifically trademarked, for everything, you know, within that kind of area, because just trademarking it for, you know, video games wouldn't make sense. You want to trademark it for all possible areas it can cover: merchandise, TCG, video games, a whole bunch, right? That makes sense to me. And again, it's just a theory. Now, this is very similar to me. Why I think this is going to probably be a thing that we're gonna see most likely happen is because, just think about it, right? We've had these things in the past. Now, if you guys remember Heart Gold, Soul Silver, anybody played those, you buy the original copies with the actual full box and everything, you may remember these boxes, right? And you may remember these little, like, Pokewalker Tamagotchi things, right? If you remember these, this is so awesome, because this is the thing that I can think of that's the closest, right? The closest to what this new thing they're doing is, right? Because this, you could connect this, like, use the, you know, the signal from your little, like, Pokewalker, use your signal to your DS back in the day, right? Your Nintendo DS. You connected it, and then you can send Pokemon to your Pokewalker. You can go outside and catch Pokemon, as far as I remember. In the wild, you can catch Pokemon, then transfer those Pokemon from your Pokewalker into your game again, right? This is a similar thing that I'm seeing here. This could be the very similar kind of concept, so to say. And I'm just excited. There's a lot of possibilities, guys. And I'm going to do more theory videos. If you guys want to see more theory videos, please let me know in the comments down below, guys. And thank you so much for watching. Boy, I am excited. I'm literally so excited right now because I mean, this is literally something, you know, copyright, or rather, you know, something patented by Game Freak and Nintendo. This wasn't just like, you know, Nintendo on their own, because that could have been anything. But Game Freak is involved. So Pokemon is part of this. This has to do with Pokemon. So guys, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like down below. I'll see you all the next time. Have a great day, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.